Hello everyone, welcome to Headlines of the Day. This is 7th of March 2022 and we are back again with some of the major articles from the Hindu newspaper. Let's begin our today's edition with the very first article from page number 1, that is from GS2 International Relations. Now this article talks about evacuation of Indian nationals from Ukraine, that is the Operation Ganga. So this article is a follow-up of Operation Ganga. Around 15,922 Indian nationals have been evacuated so far, but the operation is still continuing. So from this article, you have to consider what is Operation Ganga and its objectives. Well, moving further, on page number 8, let's directly talk about the editorial section. From GS2 International Relations, you'll find an article that is headlined as "In Sanctions Bite, Nord Stream 2 in Crosshairs." Now, what is Nord Stream 2? Nord Stream 2 is an ambitious project of Russia to transfer natural gas from Russia to rest of the Europe. Nord Stream 2 is a subsea pipeline and the article says that it is one of the key issues central to the Ukrainian conflict. Now from this article, what you need to consider is, why did Russia attack Ukraine? What are the economic sanctions imposed by the United States? And how deeply do they damage the Russia-Europe energy relationship and development of Nord Stream 2 pipeline? Significance of the Nord Stream pipelines, and the associated issues and what lies ahead. All right, moving further on page number 8 itself, you'll find an article from GS2 that relates to social media. Now this article is headlined as "Conflict and a Settings Change for Social Media." So from this article, certain key highlights you have to consider are: what are the concerns around social media platforms during a conflict? Why is there a lack of clear systems within social media companies? What are the multiple challenges social media platforms have? Their ill effects across the globe? The relevance of balancing the business interest of social media platforms and their intersection with the global public life in critical situations, as we are highlighting the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Also, India's strategic position in global order and what are the domestic regulatory framework on social media platforms. What needs to be done for addressing the multitude of evolving factors? Moving on page number 8 itself, you'll find an article from GS2 International Relations that is headlined as "Quadrilateral Quasiness." Now, this article revolves around the recent Quad Summit, and the article talks about quadrilateral quasiness. Quasiness means sort of nauseatic feelings. So, metaphorically speaking, the author talks that India cannot be forced to pick a side in the conflict, but Russia could test its resolve. From this article, certain key highlights to consider are: what are the key takeaways from latest Quad meeting? India's and Quad stance in the Ukraine-Russia crisis. How Russia's action has posed complex question for India's strategic calculus, and what is the possible way forward? Well, moving on further, on page number 10, you'll find an article from GS3 Defense. Now, this article is headlined as "Russia's sanction may not dent army preparedness." So this article talks about army preparedness along the line of actual control, as People's Liberation Army of China is set to hold its annual summer exercise in Tibet. So from this article, certain key highlights to consider are: how dependent is India on Russia's weapons? And how Russian invasion of Ukraine and the sanctions against it will impact India's defense imports. And here we are talking about the specific imports from Russia, as India and Russia are major defense partners. Moving on page number 12, you'll find an article from GS3 Science and Technology that talks about a locally made trainer aircraft that finishes its sea trial. Now this trainer is named as Hansa NG. It is a new generation aircraft trainer, which is one of the most advanced trainers that is developed by the CSIR, National Aerospace Laboratory. So from this article, certain key highlights to consider are: what is the indigenous Hansa NG new generation aircraft trainer, some of its features, and what is its significance? So this is a wrap of today's edition of Headlines of the Day. I hope you liked the video. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles. And for more such videos, do stay tuned to the Next IAS YouTube channel.